Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to learn a new lesson, namely Helen Keller. Okay, so it is the story of Helen Keller. Have you heard the name before, Helen Keller? Who is Helen Keller? Helen Keller was a very famous writer. She wrote many books. Okay, what is the peculiarity of her? She is both deaf and blind. What is the meaning blind? Blind means a person who cannot see anything, and deaf means a person who cannot hear anything. Okay, so Helen Keller was both blind and deaf, but she wrote many books. She became very successful in her life even though she is blind and deaf. Okay, so here we have to read a very small story about Helen Keller, about her childhood. Okay, so let's read the lesson. It was the summer of 1880. A healthy baby girl was born in a small town in Alabama. So she was born in 1880 in a summer season. And at the time of her birth, she was very healthy. And she born in Alabama. Alabama is in America. Okay, she was a very healthy baby at the time of her birth. Her parents loved her dearly and named her Helen Keller. So her parents loved her very much and she gave her the name Helen Keller. But one day the baby became ill and day after day her fever stayed high. But what happened one day? She became ill. She became sick, not well. And day after day, her fever stayed high. So she had fever. Okay, and many days that fever longed for many days. Everyone in the family tried to help her to get better, but all they could say was, "There is nothing more we can do. The baby may not live." Okay, so the fever stayed high for many days, and everyone in the family tried to help her, but all of them said that there is nothing to do more. The baby may not live. We cannot cure the disease of Helen Keller. She may die. Okay, everyone said that. Everyone lost the hope that she could live. Okay, so everyone believed that she may die. Helen lived. But what happened? She lived. She escaped from the illness. But she was not the same after her illness. Even though she lived, she escaped from her fever. There was some changes occurred. Okay, there was some changes in her. Something is very wrong, her mother said. So her mother said that there is something wrong in Helen Keller. At last they found out what was wrong. So they found out what is the wrong thing. The child could not see or hear. So what happened to Helen Keller after the fever illness? She could not see or hear. She became blind and deaf. The baby grew into a little girl. So she began to grow up. When she became a little girl, her parents felt sorry for her. Her parents felt sorry for her because she cannot hear and see. Helen often cried and held on to her mother. So she became She often cried and hugged her mother. Give the poor child what she wants, her father would say. So her father would say that whatever the poor child demands or wants, give everything to that child, because she is crying and all, no. So for that her father always says that give the poor child whatever she wants. Though Helen could not hear or see, she was a bright little girl. Helen could not see or Helen could not hear anything, but she was a bright little girl. Bright means very smart and active and intelligent girl. Some people thought Helen could not learn anything. Okay, some people thought that Helen cannot learn anything because she cannot hear anything and she cannot see anything. So how can she learn? So most of the people thought so. Her mother did not agree. Helen is very smart. Okay, her mother said that Helen can learn things. She is very smart. She said and added, the problem is, how can we reach her? She is locked up inside her. Helen is very intelligent and smart, so we can teach her, but the problem is, how can we teach Helen? Okay, she cannot hear and she cannot see. She is locked up inside herself. Locked up means she cannot hear and she cannot see anything. So how can we teach her? That is the problem we have to face. That is the only problem. Helen began to grow wild. She became very angry and she began to grow violently. Okay, very naughty and very angry. She would not let anyone comb her hair. She do not let anyone to comb her hair. Her clothes were always dirty. She wear always dirty clothes because she do not allow anyone to change her dress. She is very naughty and she always become angry. She was often angry. Sometimes she even lay on the floor and kicked her feet. Okay. When she become angry, she will cry and she will lie on the floor and she will kick her feet on the floor, etc. That means she is very angry and naughty. She do not obey her parents and all because she cannot hear and she cannot see anything. That is why she is behaving like that. Okay. Her parents thought that they should find a teacher for her. So her parents thought that Helen needs a teacher to teach her things. Miss Sullivan, a young teacher, agreed to help Helen to learn to see the world. So a young teacher agreed to teach Helen. Miss Sullivan gave Helen a doll. So how is she teaching Helen? First, she gave a doll to Helen, and DOLL spells dolls. So giving the doll to the Helen, she is teaching the spelling. She spelled the word with her fingers into Helen's hands. How she teaches the spelling? Using fingers. Okay, sign language. Using sign language, she touched the fingers on Helen's hand and teaches the spelling with special hand signs. Okay, she made the letters with special hand signs. Using special hand signs, she teaches the spelling because Helen cannot see and hear. Okay, by touch, she is learning anything. Okay. Helen copied her teacher and spelled DOLL too. But she did not understand what she was doing. Okay, she learned the word DOLL but she was not fully understood. What is it? Okay. Helen liked Miss Sullivan. She was strict but kind. So Helen liked her teacher. She was strict but she is kind also. She spelled a lot of words for Helen on her hand day and night to make Helen understand. So she taught her many words, the spelling of many words day and night to teach Helen. One day her teacher made Helen put her hand into running water. So one day her teacher put Helen's hand into running water. Then she spelled water. Suddenly, Helen understood that water meant something wet running over her hand. So, putting her hands in the running water, Miss Sullivan taught her the spelling of water. So Helen could understand that water is something that flows and something a cool thing, a cool flowing thing. Helen could understand what water is. Okay. She understood that words were the most important things in the world. So, from the very childhood, she understood words are the most important things in the world. Words would tell her everything she wanted to know. If she learned words, and through words, she can learn everything she wanted to know. Through words, she can see the world. Okay, so Helen understood that language or words are the most important things in the world. She cannot see anything, she cannot hear anything, but reading words, through words, she can see and hear the world. Okay, she understood that. Okay, so even though Helen is blind and deaf, she learned. Okay, she learned many things. She learned to read and write through braille script. Okay, braille script, you know, it is the script for letters for blind people, person who cannot see and hear. Okay, so she became very successful in her life even though she is blind and deaf. Okay, so this is all about the lesson Helen Keller. Thank you.